Hey viewers, I'm continuing work on my homebrew cyclocross bike, and today I'm going to replace the front derailleur. This is just the original derailleur that came on the Trek 700. So I was originally going to install a front derailleur with a clamp, but I think where the clamp needs to sit for the derailleur to be in the right place is a bottle cage screw. So what I've got instead is a braze-on type front derailleur, and I've got an adapter clamp like this, and so this will clamp onto the seat tube here, and so I can mount this either above or below the bottle cage screw there, and this is slotted, so that will allow me to slide the derailleur up and down in relation to the clamp there. So I might probably end up having to install this above it, but I'm not sure. I'll see once I get the old derailleur off. This is a FD 6600, so this is actually a 10-speed derailleur, and I currently have the drivetrain set up for a 7-speed on the back, so this has got a slightly fatter chain than what a 10-speed would be. But I plan to upgrade the whole drivetrain to 10-speed here in the not too distant future. But one of the things I may have, issues I might have here is I might have a little bit of chain rub on the inside of the cage in some gear combinations. I'm not too concerned about that because this is going to be temporary anyway. Like I said, in the not too distant future, I'm going to be upgrading the whole thing. And I'll have a skinnier chain at that point. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process of doing this. Now I'm going to remove the chain. I'm going to break the chain. The chain is worn, and so I was going to replace it with a brand new chain. But you really don't need to break the chain to install a front derailleur, because on the back here there's a screw. If you remove this little screw here, you can expand the cage to go around the chain. So you remove that, expand the chain, pull the chain out, and then also put the chain back in like that. So I really don't need to break the chain to replace the derailleur, but it will make the job a little easier to have the chain off the bike. So I'm going to break the chain, got my chain breaker tool here, pop that on. And then I just pull this chain out of there. Now I'm going to cut the old chip cable, because I'm going to be replacing that. And then remove this clamp here. It's a 5mm Allen screw here, so just loosen this, and I'll need to totally remove this screw. Well, remove it from the back part here, like that. And at this point, I can just slide this derailleur off like that. Okay, now I have the new derailleur just loosely mounted to the little clamp there. So what I can do is try this, just tentatively hold that there and move this down. Because what I wanted to have it is so that when this swings out, I want the cage, the bottom edge of this cage to be come just within 1 or 2 millimeters of these teeth there. So if I have this here, you see, so I can move this up or down. So I have this above the little clamp there, or the bottle cage screw there. That looks like it will work pretty well right there. If I go below this, yeah, that's too low right there. So yeah, this is where I probably want to go. So I want to mount this just above this bottle cage screw. I mounted the clamp here just above the bottle cage screw, and this little part here, it's not centered on the side of the seat tube. It's actually a little bit forward of center, but this little curve part here comes straight out, kind of perpendicular to the line of the bike, and then the little slot in there, little sides of it are in line with the side of the bike. I can always readjust this a little bit. This should be pretty close to where it needs to be, and this will give me enough latitude to be able to pivot the front derailleur side to side the angle like this to line up with the chain rings down there. Now I'm going to mount the derailleur to the clamp here, and I'm going to probably be needing to adjust the position here, so I'm not going to tighten it too much to begin with. Like that. Now I need to adjust the position of this front derailleur. What I want is this outer plate of the cage to be in line with the big chain ring here. And I also want, when it swings out, to come within just a millimeter or two of the teeth at the closest point. So one of the things I'm going to do right now, just to make the job a little easier, is I'm going to adjust the little low part here. Just tighten this screw. This will tighten down a little bit so that the cage is out and now in line with the big chain ring there, or pretty close. Like that. So now that's like right in line with the big chain ring there. So now what I want to do is I can adjust this. I have a penny here, and I put this down here because that is roughly the thickness that I want this to be away from the teeth there. So I can set that in there, line up the derailleur cage with the big chain ring there, and then using a Allen wrench, I'll tighten this clamp right here, tighten the derailleur to the clamp, and that'll hold it right in position there. So right where I want it to be. So now I can loosen this limiting screw here, so let the cage go back in. So now if you see, it comes very, very close to those teeth, but not touching there. Just comes within about 1 or 2 millimeters of the teeth on that big chain ring right there. Okay, now another thing on this derailleur is this is a road front derailleur, so most road front derailleurs are really designed for a big chain ring of about 53 teeth. This chain ring right here is 46 teeth. So you notice the curve of the cage here does not parallel the circumference of the chain ring. Now optimally, I would want to have this be in line with the chain ring there, but it's not going to happen. What I could possibly do is they do make shims that would slide in here that would actually tilt the derailleur back a little bit, and then I could also, so that would adjust the angle there so that this would more parallel with that, but I'm not quite sure where to get those. I looked at some production cyclocross bikes, and they had the same kind of thing here, to where the cage of the front derailleur was close up here, but then kind of fell away back there. This should be okay. Another thing I also wanted to be aware of is how low this is too, because when the chain's on the smallest cog here, like this, I don't want it to be dragging across here, but that shouldn't be an issue. This is pretty low right there. Okay, now I have a brand new chain threaded from the small chain ring back to the small cog here, and I can test the length of it here. Like that. So if I go ahead and connect the chain right there, I don't have to worry about this rubbing down here. So there's plenty of room on that. So that looks okay. I'm not too concerned about the chain at this point, because when I upgraded to 10 speed, it's going to be getting a new chain anyway, and I'm going to be replacing the rear derailleur, and so I'm going to go through all this whole process again. So I just want to make sure that this chain is going to work in the meantime. And so I got a little connector part here. I have another video on sizing a chain, but the main thing I wanted to test is that going to the smallest ring to cog combination there, that the chain was not going to be rubbing up there, and so this is going to work fine as is. Now I need to adjust the front derailleur here. I have the rear derailleur shifted up to the biggest cog, or the lowest gear, and I have the chain on the small chain ring in the front. What I want to do is adjust this cage with the limiting screw so that the cage comes up and just touches the chain here. So I'm going to kind of pull the cage in, or push this little part down here, and then I'm going to adjust the limiting screw. And these limiting screws here, the screw closest to the frame is typically for the smallest chain ring, the one the closest inside. The screw farther from the frame is typically for the largest chain ring on the front. So I'm going to be doing the inside one here, so I'll just adjust this out so that the cage just comes up and touches the chain like that. Now I need to remove the old shift cable. So what I'm going to do is just shift this down, just release this. So then pull this out, and then I pull this old cable out here like this. And then I can slide the new cable in through the shifter. Like this. Slide it into the cable housing, and then slide this through. I'm going to slide it in through my inline barrel adjuster that I installed in another video, and then slide the cable in through there, and then push the cable down through. There we go. And then get this down into the cable stop and pull the cable through. Run the cable down through the cable guide that goes underneath the bottom bracket here, and then run it up back behind the seat tube like that. Now I attach the cable to the front derailleur here. There's the little clamp screw here, that there's a little tab in the back. I want the cable to go over that, and then there's a little notch in here to where the cable goes. So I'm going to pull the cable tight on here, as tight as I can, and then tighten this screw here. It's like a 5mm screw. So I'm tightening this down onto the cable. Now with the cable attached, I want to go ahead and release the low end limiting screw just a little bit so that the chain, or the cage, falls away from the chain just a little bit, about 1mm away there. Now I'm going to shift the rear derailleur to the smallest cog. And then I'm going to shift the front derailleur up to the big ring. And then that should go there. Now I want to adjust the cage so that it's about 1mm away from the outside of the, away from the chain there. So I'm going to loosen this limiting screw just a little bit. And it's still touching a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, I have my inline barrel adjuster. I'm going to adjust the cable, tension the cable just a little bit so that this moves out just a little bit. Okay, so now the chain is just slightly away from the cage there. And so I'm going to tighten down this limiting screw here like that. So I want that chain the cage just barely not touching that chain there. So now I'm going to shift down there, shift up, shift down, try different combinations on the back. So go up to the bigger chain ring here, or the biggest cage on the back, or the biggest cog on the back, and then up, down, And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to trim this cable here. I'm going to leave about an inch there, or maybe an inch and a half, like that. Now I'll put a little crimp end on here on the cable and clamp that on there like this. Okay, I bent this little bit of cable here out of the way so it's not going to hit the crank every time it goes by. Shifted the rear derailleur into a middle cog so I can test this shifting here. So up, down, up, down. Nice and crisp, shifts really nicely. Anyway, that's how you do it. I hope you found this video useful or interesting. If you did, please click like. I always appreciate getting likes on my videos and it helps me out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and you'll see new videos as they come out. And I'm always coming out with new videos. And I'm also over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page, and I post a lot of stuff over there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.